Welcome to Mauricio's Corner, brought to you by JaxUSL. Thank you once again for joining us for episode 5 as we go around the USL Championship League, give you all the action that happened in week 8. But this week we have a special edition, as this past week was the 4th round of the US Open Cup, the oldest tournament in the history of US soccer. Has some great action, plenty of USL Championship and USL League One teams active in the 4th round, and plenty that moved on to the 5th round, which means cup sets or at hand. Make sure that you keep following us on our social media. Stay tuned in to any news that we have. Thank you to our world-class media, or the producers of the show. Make sure you follow them as well for great content. This week, we're also going to bring you our game of the week, San Diego Loyos, El Paso Locomotive, a great game between two teams in the West that are battling for top position. But let's take a look at this week's US Open Cup 4th round games. Looking at the 4th round of US Open Cup, USL teams were well represented, taking 2 wins from MLS opponents into the 5th round. We had 2 cup sets as Monterey Bay upset San Jose Earthquakes, a battle in California, a 1-0 win to knock them out of the US Open Cup. In the game of the night, Memphis 901 upset Atlanta United in a turnaround thrilling game, 2-1 victory in overtime to send former MLS champs out of the competition. The tying goal coming in extra time in that game. 9 USL teams are still standing and will be moving on to the 5th round of the competition on May 9th and 10th. All US Open Cup games will be streamed nationally for everyone to watch on each team's platforms. Let's take a look at the US League standings after week 8 of a thrilling competition. Out West, Sacramento Republic holding on to the spot by 2-point margin as Colorado Switchbacks are pulling up some great results, some strong results as of late. Inching, you see the result table, it's really tight at the top, only 2 points separating first and second place. San Diego Loyal dropped to 3rd place after a home loss to El Paso. 2 really good teams that we're going to shadow and we're going to showcase in our game of the week. At the bottom of the table, Orange County and Las Vegas still struggling to put results together after 8 weeks of competition. In the East, we have a new leader for the first time as Birmingham Legion take over 1st place past Charleston Battery, which faced their first defeat of the season, no longer the only undefeated team in the East. Route is bouncing back to get themselves within competition, right in 6th place in league standings. While Indy and Hartford Athletics and Detroit City at the bottom of the league in the East, but still plenty of season to play, plenty of opportunity. As a reminder, it's a 34-week season where 8 teams in each division make the playoffs, so everyone very much still alive in the USL Championship 2023 season. Now let's take a look at this game of the week. In this week's game of the week, we're going to take a look at San Diego Loyals as they played host to El Paso Locomotive. 2 teams, as you saw in the league standings, that are right there at the top in 3rd and 4th place respectively. 2 contrast of styles. San Diego, a very expensive team, playing a 3-5-2. They like to play open. You're going to see their goalkeeper gets really involved into the attack in a very untraditional way. Where Locomotive, smart team, playing on the road in a 4-4-2, middle to low block. Difficult to break them down. But 2 teams that enjoy possession, enjoy the game, but play 2 contrast different styles as they go offense to defense. Well, let's take a look at San Diego in possession. So as you see it on our first clip here, San Diego enjoying possession, Locomotive in that middle to really low block. As you see there, I pointed out, you should be expecting a center back on that side, but instead who shows up is their goalkeeper, really advanced. I mean, you're talking about 40 yards outside of his goal. He likes to form the back 4 with their 3-5-2, so ultimately adding a player into the attack. The issue that I have with this is that there's really not that many options to penetrate the defense in this moment. They're looking for those long balls. See, in the second moment here, and this happened throughout the entire first half, the goalkeeper just joins the attack, joins the start of the possession as a 4th center back, a 4th player in the back line, as a 2nd center back into that space, but really can't take any chances. The players that he's looking for are really behind the midfield line there, but difficult to get to them. As I can point out, Corona, one of the best players in the league, a veteran player in the league, but difficult because the goalkeeper is really not going to try to push the ball and penetrate in that moment. So he's forced to almost play a long ball in this circumstance because El Paso actually committed a player to him. This works out and creates one of the better chances in the first half. but a team that, interestingly enough, gets their goalkeeper high up on the line. But here's what I loved in the second half. Coach Nate Miller made an adjustment. He brought in Colin Martin, another veteran, former MLS player. Now, as a defensive mid, he's playing behind and in front of the line, better yet, which then allows Locomotive to have to commit numbers to him, and then opportunities get created in the second half at a much higher tempo and much better chances, because he's now coming in, allows freedom for the center backs to get involved into the attack a little bit more and get involved. Once again, you see him here. He's in front of the front two of El Paso, but rather than passing through, now he's dribbling through, entering the attack from the back line. Goalkeeper wasn't as involved in the build-up. He was still involved some, but not at the capacity that he was in the first half. So creating more and more opportunities. San Diego really had the majority of the possession, creating most of the chances. You can see here a free kick from San Diego in the first half, hitting the bar, getting a rebound. This was the second off-the-line clearance that San Diego had in the first half. Really, the more of the aggressor, creating the better the chances. Big center back coming from nice and high, challenging it. Ronaldo couldn't put the game away. But San Diego will be upset with their result, as they were a little bit too easy to break through here. As you can see, one ball inside the box, a shot, really lucky, deflected over the goalkeeper. But if you allow a team like El Paso, which have talented players in the attack, get into the box, unimpeded the way they were, it's going to be easier and easier for them to score. San Diego does get back into the game, a little bit of pressure on the goalkeeper. They win that first ball off the air in the midfield, win the second ball, and off to the races. One of the better players, Jorge San Diego, one of the two forwards, beautiful cut, double cut, finds the corner, celebrates, make it a 1-1. And at this point, San Diego really had the entire run of play, had all the momentum, but very easily and quickly after the tying game, once again, broken through, way too easy. Player combined from the wide area, follows his run inside the box, and finishes in a really easy. And San Diego being really disappointed, in my opinion, coming off of one of the better games that they had. They had a tough stretch of 3 games in 7 days, being that they played in the U.S. Open Cup 4th round, losing in a tie game. They were the better team. They held most of the possessions. Their XG, their expected goals in this game, were over 2 versus Locomotive that were about 0.5. Really disappointed to be at home, climbing up in the rankings. A really good opportunity to really climb into second place, pushing Sacramento Republic for that top spot. But Locomotive made the most out of their opportunity out west, coming back home with 3 points. They're going to be happy to take those 3 points back to Texas as they climb up in the standings in 4th place, right behind San Diego. But a really good, entertaining game. Interesting tactics of San Diego. Good adjustment in the second half, but they'll certainly be disappointed not take those 3 points at home. In next week's game of the week, we'll be looking at Birmingham Legion versus Oakland Roots. Legion climbing into first place for the first time in this season. Oakland Roots still holding on to that 8th position out west, but putting together some good results as of late, which is going to make it a very exciting game. Love those East versus West games, especially early in the season as teams are still trying to identify who they are, trying to get healthy and kind of really build their identity in who and how they're playing, make sure they're connecting all of those dots. Well, that does it for us for episode 5 on Mauricio's Corner. Thank you once again for joining us here at the Corner Flag. Make sure you stay tuned. Follow us on our social media. Every single game in the USL Championship and League One can be seen on ESPN+. So make sure you stay caught up with the league, see what's happening. It's a league of great quality, great players, and great competition amongst one another. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week around the corner.